If there was ever a person to take Donald Mustard's spot, it's Charlie Wen. This man has the most insanely stacked resume I have ever seen. He worked as the co-founder and head of visual development at Marvel, so he worked on projects like The Avengers, Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, like a lot of the really influential Phase 1 MCU movies. He's also basically Kratos' daddy because he's the one who designed Kratos for Sony and worked on God of War 1 and 2. Finally, he used to work at Riot Games, he built their film team, he worked on League of Legends. The credentials just keep going and going for this guy, and the more that I think about how awesome he is, the more excited I get for the potential future of Fortnite. Fortnite Chapter 5 could be, and probably will be, the greatest Fortnite chapter of all time, and ironically, it's because Donald Mustard stepped down. In my last video, I gave Donald Mustard a lot of credit. His creative vision is what spearheaded Fortnite as one of the most popular video games on the planet. He made iconic moments in video game history. I also talked about why he got burnt out over time. And although I can understand it, we as fans need Fortnite to remain exciting and innovative. And quite frankly, for the last year and a half, I think Mustard might have been holding Fortnite back. The one thing that I really love about Donald Mustard is that he made amazing characters and concepts. Like the Foundation, the Imagine Order, this magical floating donut in the middle of the island called the 0 Point, all of those things are really fun and interesting ideas that help us understand the Battle Royale from a storytelling perspective. The issue is, and I think this is what Donald is the weakest at, is world building. Donald Mustard was not good at giving backstories to characters. For example, Zeno for the longest time was our main villain in Fortnite, kind of looming in the background, and then when he was brought to the forefront a little bit, we still know very little about him. We know that he's obsessed with genetic perfection, we know that he has 2 daughters, and that's about it. But what's his motivation for being obsessed with genetic perfection? Why is that a character trait of his? We don't know, because Mustard wasn't worried about world building in that way. I know that there are a good chunk of you watching right now that have no idea what I'm talking about, or at the very least don't care as much because you're not invested into the Fortnite storyline. And that's ironic for me to say because at one point in time, this YouTube channel used to be focused around the Fortnite story. However, now that I have a better understanding of how the general public or the general Fortnite fans view the Fortnite storyline, I can understand why you don't care. I don't really care. However, I should, and you should, because the storytelling of any video game is what gives it cultural significance, cultural relevance, and longevity within pop culture. The reason why people still care about God of War is because it was an amazing story that was well told. The reason why so many people are frustrated with the MCU now is because we've gotten really good stories in the past within the first couple of phases. Everything up to Avengers Endgame was peak MCU storytelling. And keep in mind, both of those properties are things that Charlie worked on. My hope is that with someone like Charlie steering the ship at Epic Games, he'll be able to get people excited about the Fortnite storyline, and the way that he's going to do that is through live events. Mark my words, the next live event that we get announced will be one of the most hype events for Fortnite in years, because we've gone so long without a live event. And as I've said a million times, live events are the one thing that everyone in the Fortnite community can get excited about. It rallies everybody together at one place at one time to generate the ultimate hype for the game. I have no doubt that with Charlie's experience at Marvel, he'll be able to come up with some visually interesting new ideas that will take live events to a totally new level. But more important than that, I'm hoping that Charlie will be able to give some backstory and depth to characters that we've grown attachment to for the last few years. Maybe we can finally get some backstory on Dr. Sloan, the Foundation, Zeno, The Last Reality, Midas. Characters that everybody loves, but technically really don't have a whole lot of reason to love them. And maybe after all this time, Charlie will be the one to finally introduce some kind of web series or TV series to Fortnite. Something that will give context and purpose to the story in the game that we all have grown to love over the last few years. And if you're someone who's watching me that's not interested in the Fortnite storyline, maybe this will give you a reason to enjoy it. I've had a couple people comment on my videos and say that they don't really want really deep storytelling with Fortnite. However, I'm calling BS on that because everyone loves a very good, well-told story. A deep storyline doesn't mean that it has to be confusing or hard to follow. It just has to be told well. And with Charlie's experience, I think there's a good shot that we might get that.